Here is why you want to trim your troubled hoof more often.
So we want to see and help her exfoliate all the material that it wants to exfoliate. So if you see here, I'm with my hoof pick, and you can see all the grainy stuff here. When it's grainy like that, it means that it wants to exfoliate. It means that it's ready to trim it. So you see how I'm actually quite in past this bar. That's probably some old bar. So see, I've trimmed this horse about a week ago, and I worked my way into live sole just a week ago. And look at how much more wants to go today. So imagine if I waited several weeks before. I'm actually leaving this horse with so much extra stuff, and this frog needs to be trimmed up too, trimmed again. And if we look at her collateral groove depth, or sole depth, if I put my hoof pick down as deep as it can go, I'm probably just below an inch. Half of my hoof pick is 3/4 of an inch. So that's what I'm aiming for in the back. Now this is a pony. It could be a little less than that, but it just gives us an idea. So obviously we have too much depth in the back, and we know this from x-rays. And at the front, we probably have adequate sole depth at the front, if maybe a little extra, which explains why it's super grainy here as well. And some old bars that would benefit of opening up. But this is amazing. Like, I trimmed this pony a week ago, and look how much I can actually change again. And that can make a big difference in rehabbing something extreme like this. Okay. So now I'm going to take my nippers and take some of these bars down. I know I can take them down because they're way beyond live sole. That's going to help me with my knife to find live sole depth. Here. So I'm going to dig in until I find my live sole. Oh, it wasn't very far. You can see where that material here is more yellow, orange, not grainy, just about here. Take the old bar out. These feet have been left overgrown for quite a long time, like for years. So nothing in the bottom of that foot has been working properly in a very long time. So overgrown bars, overgrown everything is what you're going to find in these situations. And we want stimulation to that frog to help rehab this. So helping creating a bit of a bowl, which means the middle of the foot will be shorter and it'll work its way out like a bowl, will help actually create more stimulation on that frog. You can't always do that. I wouldn't go and create a bowl on live tissue. I would not do that. But if you can't afford it because you have extra stuff, like I have now, you want to kind of carve and imitate healthy structures. So now that I've found my live sole here, I might have a bit more back here to do. I will match the hoof wall, same height, or just above, depending on the situation. taking my time because those little feet are small and I want to be precise on what I do, and it's not simple when you have nippers, big nippers made for big horses. So you want to open this up so the grooves are able to dry up, not pack with mud or manure. Here, give you a break. Be careful here. When I'm done with this, we're going to measure the collateral groove depth again, or the sole depth again, to see how much has changed in just a week, or in just a trim, I should say, from the beginning to what it's going to be after this. Trying to pretty up the frog a little bit, just to make it a little bit more functional. Okay. I'm gonna work on those heels down a little bit, or back and down. There it is. Same thing here. I need to give her somewhere to land back here. This is what I'm gonna do. And then roll my toe. There isn't a whole lot of toe on this mare here because of the way she's carrying herself. She's actually wearing this toe out here. But we want to lower the back of the foot on this mare. Like, it's crucial in rehabbing this. And the sooner we do so, the better it's going to be for her. So when the sole wants to shed, you want to take advantage of that and get that shedding out and then match the wall, because that's going to relieve a lot of pain this mare's having. Okay, so looking at her collateral groove depth now. We're still above 3/4 of an inch, but we're a lot closer of the half point mark than we were when I started. That means we're making progress, making good progress. And this not getting your horse's feet trimmed sooner could be the reason why you're not making progress. In a variety of reasons, but this is one of them. If the sole wants to shed more at the back when you have rotation, it's a good sign that actually the structures might be relaxing upward, which is what you want. Or another way to see it is the cornet band, which is the band around the top of the hoof. That's a different way of seeing it, but it can relax down when things starts to function better, and metabolically and obviously mechanically, the band will relax down, which will cause the bone to be higher up in the hoof capsule. And this is great because when you're having rotation, not only the tip of the bone's dropping low, but so is the back as well. But if the back's wanting to shed, it's usually a sign that the bone's actually ready to have a more normal positive angle, or lower angle than it was, I should say. So we're getting rid of a bit more of that roll here. What really matters is what you do underneath. It's setting up the proper breakover from underneath. The top, you're just matching the roll basically, and you're making the job look pretty. And when you have a big flare, it helps a lot, because when this hoof right up here grows down, you have less material to trim. So it does help in the future, but it's not what matters the most. And this is where getting success can change. So it doesn't matter how much of that flare you trim out on the outside. It doesn't change the mechanic of the foot. So really, you want to set up proper breakover underneath so that you succeed at growing a better wall connection from the top all the way down. Now, what you rasp on the outside looks good to your eye, but it doesn't change the mechanic of the roll, which can continue contributing into why you have potential mechanical flaring, which means when the horse is turning or breaking over, there's pulling. The hoof wall continuously pulls away from the bone due to the way it's trimmed and the movement of the foot. So, you know, it really matters to roll underneath. And really, I personally wouldn't want to rasp this whole flare out anyway, because you can also see progress. If you rasp it all out, your foot will look like it's well connected. It's just an illusion. What matters is what's going on internally. So I want to know whether I'm growing something connected up here, or if this is actually failing and starting to flare up here and continuously flaring up here when this new growth comes down. Now, if this happens, then I know I have to change something. Whether it's the diet or the trim or the exercise, something needs to change, because I want to succeed growing a better wall connection. If you have any questions or comment, let me know down below.